so that as I do this recording, I will have a copy for anyone who might benefit from it. All right, the purpose of me doing this series of sessions has been, it triggered off the other day when I witnessed a top producer sharing. A top producer sharing to a group of advisors, just like any other situation, which is very common in the industry. Okay, everybody is trying to copy notes. The top producer is invited, so he's there to share. But whenever I see such a phenomenon, I always remember what I tell my members, our mentees in our mentoring program. All right, that many of the people in the room who is listening to the top producer is going to have a problem understanding what he or she is really trying to share with them. All right, why is that so? In my earlier session, I'm recapping a bit of my earlier session. In my earlier session, I mentioned that there's actually a communication issue between the top producers, the speaker, and the rest of the people who are in the room trying to learn. And all this comes right down to the popular topic that I always mention, which is the issue of having blind spots. Human beings have blind spots. All right, blind spots prevent us from seeing what we need to see. We hear something based on what we are familiar with, but we don't actually hear what we need in order to make the necessary changes and get the results that we need or the results that we want. All right, so it's very common that advisors will come out of a conference room, of a congress, of a workshop, and you will hear them murmuring among each other. Right? They will say things like, all right, it's always the same thing. All right, they're always saying the same thing. The speaker is always saying the same thing. My leader is saying the same thing. All right, you must see more people, you must work hard, you must focus, you must plan, you must set a goal, you must, 3 appointments a day, 12 appointments a week, so on and so forth. So the things that you normally hear are usually the same things that you already know. And very often, what happens is that the people who attend the top producers sharing often feels that the top producer is not willing to share. That means they have their secrets, which they are keeping to themselves. They're only telling you the things that are obvious. Okay, many people feel like that. All right, so in my earlier session, I actually tried to debunk this because from my many years in the industry and many years coaching, it is not true. It is not true that top producers actually holding things from you. It is just that they are in a different frequency from you. All right. So if you are tuning into a certain channel on the radio, for example, News Radio 938, you must tune it to the right frequency before you get the information, before the radio comes alive. Is that right? If you do not tune to that right radio station, you cannot access the right information. So this is what I've been talking about. All right, the common phenomena in the industry whereby people want to improve, but they have trouble, they have difficulty. So they go meetings after meetings, and every year they get more and more disappointed. So for some of you who are very new here, you have yet to experience that. But imagine, you fast forward in your mind, 5 years in the industry, and you are still listening to the same thing. Okay, and let's say your performance is about where you are right now. You will begin to be frustrated. You will begin to be thinking, what is happening? Why are they always saying the same thing? And why is it that I can't improve my results? All right. For financial advisors, insurance agents, right? They have MDRT, which is the top 6%. So if there's a top 6%, there's a 94%. So what happens to the 94%? Are you in the top 6% or are you amongst the 94%? If you are amongst the 94%, assume a triangle, we draw a triangle whereby the apex is MDRT. So that 94% is all the people below. Out of the 94%, if you belong to the 94%, where are you? Is it at the top? Is it in the middle? Or is it right at the bottom? Okay? So The reason why people come for mentoring coaching is because they are sick and tired of their performance. They are not performing to the potential that they believe they can. They are not performing to their heart's desire. They are not reaching their goals. So that's why they seek help. They seek a coach, a mentor, in order to help them to see their blind spots. The blind spots that they have that does not allow them to access the super producer's mind, that does not access the secrets of high sales performance. All right. So in other words, they are actually stuck. They can't see. They are stuck where they are, and they are always doing the same thing. All right. They are always doing the same usual thing that they are used to. And if you do the same thing, you get the same results. All right. So what I mentioned in my earlier session, that the reason why our mentees, when they come, they achieve their quantum leap, they transform their results, is because we help them to see their blind spots. It's as simple as that. We help you to see the blind spots that you need to see in order to make the change that you need to make. So, okay, just to recap a little bit, one of the examples I gave, I think it was yesterday or the day before, was the example of, let's say, listening to your prospect, asking expert questions. Okay, not every advisors are doing that well. So assuming you are the one who is not a good listener, you're not the one who's asking the expert questions, the right questions to get the answers out from your prospect. Assuming you belong to this category, the minute you realize that, oh, I cannot talk so much, you begin to see and understand, oh, I cannot be making statements all the time. Oh, I cannot always keep talking. I must let my prospect talk. Oh, I must ask the questions. Oh, I must ask the right questions. I must ask the expert questions. When the realization hit you and you begin to see that, I've been talking too much. I've been making a lot of statements. The interview, the 2-hour session, the 1-hour session consists mainly of my voice. When you had that realization, you are beginning to see your blind spots. All right? And when you see your blind spots, in this example that I'm talking about being a good listener, when you realize that you need to ask the question and keep quiet. And if you feel that you want to talk, maybe you bite your tongue. Don't talk. You must be comfortable, let's say, with being silent. Okay? And then allow the prospect to share. And the more they share, the more you probe, the more you get them to talk, the more they will tell you what is it that they want, what is it that they need, what is it that they're looking for. All right? And when you actually become a good listener, your prospect and your clients feel understood. They feel that, wow, you really understand me. You really know my situation. You really are here to help me. Then something is going to happen in favor for you. All right, as compared to the advisor is the one who keeps talking, trying to share their most powerful investment plan, trying to share their most great sales idea, trying to share their best product from the company, so on and so forth. All right. So this is an example of what it means to see your blind spots. Okay. So I made in my earlier session, I made a statement saying that unless and until you see your blind spots, you cannot change your results. All right. So what's happening in the industry is that most people are just attending seminar, going for training, going for meetings, going for maybe external training, National Achievers Congress. They read a lot of books, they attend sessions, all in the search of the so-called the secret to know how they can do better. Okay? But remember, until and unless you see your personal blind spots, and make that shift, make that change, you cannot change your result, no matter how much you want it. Okay, so what I'm basically trying to tell you is that you must come right down to what is really important. You must come right down to be able to see what is it that you need to make the change, and then to know how to change. And when you make that change, the results that you want, whether it's MDRT, whether it's your awards, whether it's COT, whether it's whatever, double your income, triple your income, all your goals, all your success, all your recognition, everything that you want comes right down to your ability to make smart and intelligent changes in yourself, in what you do. Okay? They will lead you to the outcome that you are looking for. Okay? So with that, I want to share some information on my screen. So if you can see my screen, maybe you can give me a thumbs up later. Let me see if we can get there. Okay, do you see the screen? Okay. See the screen? Yes, huh? Okay. So what I've been talking about is the sales mastery system. I'm the creator of the sales mastery system. I'm not going to talk about some information which I shared yesterday. All right, I'm not going to repeat everything, but I'm going to progress from the earlier sessions. And for today, I want to go into a little bit of what the sales mastery system is about. Okay, I've talked about the problems and challenges of advisors trying to learn the secrets of the top producers, and many of them are having problems. I've given the reason why there are problems, and that is because they have blind spots that they cannot see. All right. However many sessions they go, and so some of them actually give up in the training. I've spoken about the challenges faced by sales advisors in reaching their goals and all that, and primarily I would say it still come right down to the blind spots that we are talking about. I've also talked about the 3 keys that will help you in your breakthrough, okay, which you can get from the free report at leonardlau.com. All right, just go to leonardlau.com and you can access a 30 over pages of free report that will give you the 3 keys to allow you to break through. By subscribing to the free report, you will have it automatically sent to you. And today, what I want to do is to talk about, okay, before I talk about that, I have spoken about the importance of the 4 M's, all right? The first M is motivation. The second M is mindset. The third M is mastery. And the fourth M is massive action. You must have these 4 M's in order for you to pursue your results powerfully. Okay? You must come with the motivation. But nobody can give you motivation, all right? Of course, you must sort out what is it that you want. There are blind spots in all these M's that we are talking about. You must see those blind spots so that you will be able to get to the things that you want. So if you don't have a strong motivation, you must sort out the blind spots in your motivation. If you don't have a strong mindset, you must sort out the blind spots in your mindset. Mindset is all powerful. Many people don't have the right mindset, so they don't have a right perspective of life. They don't have a right perspective of performance. All right, and they continue to struggle without knowing it. And you must sort out the blind spots in the area of mastery. Mastery, which is what I'm going to talk about very shortly today. I'm going to give you the 6 mastery, which we help our mentees master to learn in order for them to see the blind spots in how they do their work, in how they operate themselves. Okay, so unless and until you see the blind spots, it's going to be very challenging. So this is my little effort in helping you to see, to beginning to realize some of those things. Of course, finally, the last M is massive action. You must take activity, you must take action. Only by taking action can you pursue the goals and reach them. Okay, so let's Okay, Legacy is my mentoring firms, which I started up more than 10 years ago. So our mission is to inspire and affirm excellence in sales and human development. Okay, just a simple testimony, just to let you know a little bit about myself. Eileen said that the coach of a sports superstar, Leonard, will help you propel your next level of achievement. After I had been through nearly 2 mentoring sessions with him, I was not only able to discover my major blind spots, but fully recover the equivalent amount of his fees in first-year commissions. Ever since, Eileen was a 13-year veteran when she came for the mentoring. She still told, I remember she told me that she was sitting in front of a computer looking at her results. It was pathetic. After 13 years with AIA, she's thinking of quitting. Then she recalled my talk at IFPAS, at the Insurance Association. All right, she sent me an email, and like what we said, the rest is history. The following year, she achieved her MDRT. She don't sell single premium during those days. After she saw her blind spots, she closed about 800,000 of single premium in the following year. Until today, she's still qualifying for her MDRT. I believe it's at least 6 to 8 years already. So this is a little bit background. Okay, I should just quickly run through this. I was invited to News Radio 938 a total of 3 times as their guest speaker. Okay, so these are some of the sessions that I have either with my members or my keynotes that I give to companies, agencies, talking to top producers, conducting panel interviews. All right, so just very quickly, for those who does not know us very well, this might be a little helpful. Interviewing top producers, giving keynote speeches. This is Anna Chua, top of the table. Angeline, caught at the table. Pauline, Tony Gordon, Harry Huppies, John Canary, Anthony Campolo, Dennis Ridley. So these are some of the past photos. John Maxwell, Leadership Guru. All right, so with that, I want to jump straight. We don't have a lot of time today. So with the balance time, I want to jump straight into what I've decided to do for you. So remember, these are the goals that most advisors have when they come. They either want to achieve autonomy, to have the freedom of their life, to do what they want to do, to achieve what they have set out to achieve. They want to earn more money. Okay, I've got one guy who do TOT because he wants to earn more money. He didn't even bother to go for the awards presentation after he achieved his top of the table. He wants money as his goal. All right. Some of us want to overcome the challenge that you have. Some of us want to beat the competition. Some of us want to move up the social ladder. All right, to be in the higher net worth market, to be moving up the ladder. Some of us want to be a better leader, managing a better team. Some of us to grow as a person. All right, you have your security match. You have your security need match, safety needs match. Now you are looking for self-actualization. You want to be the best that you can be. Some of us want to pursue MDRT. Some of us want to double, triple our sales, transform our results. Some of us want to fully express yourself, be the best that you can be. So whatever reasons you have, these are the few areas that most people are looking into. Okay, I'm not going to play these videos because of the time factor. Our mentees sharing their blind spots that they've uncovered and the results that they're having. What I'm going to do is, okay, let me come back to this, and I want to, let me see, very quickly talk about okay, the 4 M's that I mentioned just now. So what are they? Number 1, it is motivation. Number 2, it is mindset. Number 3, it is mastery. Number 4 is massive action. Okay, just a little recap. These are the 4 M's that I mentioned earlier. All right, within each M's, there's a lot to talk about, but today I only have time to talk about mastery. Okay, about mastery. So for mastery, I want to talk about the 6 areas. And the first area that I would like to bring up to your attention is people mastery. People mastery. Okay, remember, as I mentioned, as I start to talk about this, it's good that you think about what you are doing yourself and then to make a comparison of what is it that I'm sharing with what you are currently doing. Because by doing so, you may see some blind spots on your own, and hopefully you know what to do to make the adjustment. All right? So the first thing that I want to talk about is people mastery. Take a sip of water. Okay, one of the most important things to start off in your sales career, in your persuasion business, you are in a persuasion business. All right, your success comes right down to your ability to influence people, influence your friends, influence your prospects. All right, so just imagine that means it is so important for you to take care of the person that you are. Okay, as an example, nobody likes to deal with somebody who is very negative, somebody who is taking advantage of other people, somebody who is so-called bad. Okay, so what is the kind of person that you must be or you can be so that more people would want to follow your lead, more people would want to listen to you. Okay, and what I want to suggest is that it starts with an attitude of gratitude. An attitude of gratitude. Okay, when you have that, what I want to suggest to you is that you will have a change in your mindset, the M that we are talking about earlier. You will have an empowering mindset for your life, not just for your business. Okay? You really can't separate your life from your business or your career or any part of it. Life is one indivisible whole. Okay? I think it was Gandhi who said that. Life is one big thing. Everything about you is available everywhere. So you must first take care of yourself. And by taking care, by having an attitude of gratitude in your life, you set up yourself for more and greater success. All right? The least it will do for you, it will make you a happy person. It will make you a grateful person. It will make you someone that people, when they see, somebody who is likable, somebody whom they like to talk to, somebody they like to deal with. Okay? And as far as people mastery is concerned, people mastery is really talking about your ability to get people to like you, trust you, and even to have favor with them. That means people will favor you. People will just somehow, prefer you over the next guy. Isn't that a great advantage? Okay, so there are many resources that I have in my mentoring program, and one of it is the 22 qualities for people mastery. All right, if you want a copy of that, you want to purchase that, you can let me know. Just send me a message. I can arrange for that for you. But the overarching factor, all right, must surely be the attitude of gratitude that you must carry with yourself. All right. Certainly, there are other qualities, like I mentioned, the 22 qualities that will give you the advantage over other people. whether is it to be humble, whether is it to be loving, whether is it to be a good listener, whether is it uh, uh, to treat people all the same. Okay, all these are the different qualities that you can imbue within yourself in order to make a significant difference in your dealing with people. Okay, so the first mastery that we are talking about here is people mastery. What are you doing right now that is probably different from what I've shared, let's say, in the last 5 minutes? If you can make a comparison, a simple comparison, for example, an attitude of gratitude to currently what you are in right now. Do you have that? Do you have that attitude? Do you live with gratitude? Are you actually happy every single day? Are you likable? Do people draw naturally to you? Okay, you must uncover that blind spots and make the necessary changes. Then you will start to see the results that you want. Okay, so that is the application of finding your blind spots. So very quickly, the second mastery that we talk about in our mentoring program is personal mastery. All right, so personal mastery comes right down to your ability to control your thoughts, emotions, your state, if you may, the state that you are in right now. It talks about your ability to see things correctly and powerfully. It talks about having self-knowledge within yourself, to know yourself at a very deep level. Okay? So this is what is necessary if you truly, truly want to be the edge of your peak performance. The opposite, okay, the opposites will be somebody who is not very clear about themselves, somebody who doesn't really know themselves, somebody who find themselves emotionally up and down, you know. 1 minute they are up, the next minute they are down. They can't seem to be able to control themselves as far as their state is concerned. And they bring this condition into the marketplace, into meeting up with their clients, you know, dealing with their family members and all that. And obviously this difference in a person having personal mastery versus one who doesn't have is going to produce a very different result for the individual. Okay, so personal mastery is the second mastery that we talk a lot about in our mentoring program. And for many people, this is an area that, or rather everyone need to work on this, because it is not an easy area. Okay, every mastery is not easy. Nothing is easy. Nothing worth learning is easy. If it is easy, everybody will acquire it. Okay? They are very simple, but simple does not mean easy. I can explain to you in a simple manner, but it does not mean it's easy. Okay? But once you are able to understand it and practice it, you will see immediate transformation in your result. That is what we are talking about here. So the second mastery is personal mastery. The third mastery, very quickly, is peak performance mastery. Peak performance mastery, we are referring to your ability to perform at your peak when it counts most. Your ability to perform at your peak when it counts most. So for instance, if you are going to sell $1 million case, will you be able to perform right in front of your prospect and get the sale? All right? So this is very linked to personal mastery, but it is another set of mastery that you must acquire, which I probably can't go into the details. But to give you an example, what I'm basically referring to here is that there are people who fumble in front of a big prospect, for instance. Okay, they have been praying for a big sale, they are praying for the big prospect, for the high net worth, but when one of them appear before them, they fumble, they forget things, they didn't do certain things that are important, and then their performance is rated as average. When they leave the appointment, they assess and reflect on it, they realize the mistakes they made. In short, they did not get into their peak performance state. They did not practice peak performance mastery. So this is very crucial, especially if you want to deal with high net worth, you want to deal with the big cases. And is this important? Obviously, it is important because imagine if you are someone who is used to collecting $100 a month compared to somebody who is used to collecting $1,000 a month for every sale that they make. What is the difference between the two? The difference is 10 times. One achieved MDRT, the other achieved mediocrity. That is what it means, okay, by collecting bigger premiums, by having a different ability to deal with a different market. And that requires peak performance mastery. Okay, the fourth mastery I want to talk about is selling mastery. Okay, this is obvious. Okay, we know that you need to do sales. All right, but how many people are equipped with the right systems to sell? In our program, Selling Mastery, we talk about 3 Ps. We talk about the selling process, we talk about sales principles, and we talk about sales psychology. Okay? And each of these is a system that must be acquired, must be practiced and mastered. When you practice and master these areas, according to the systems, you will begin to realize what is it that you are not doing right and where you must make the changes in order to see your blind spots and rectify them. All right. Yesterday's session, I think, okay, maybe yesterday or the few sessions earlier, I mentioned about a gentleman who came, a veteran producer who came for the mentoring program. And he panicked because he had no sale for a long time. And he decided to be enrolled into the coaching. And what he learned at his first session allowed him to bring in 10 sales the following week. In 7 days of applying what we talking about, he bring in 10 sales. So what is the difference that he enjoys? All right, what he learned is selling mastery. In particular, the selling process. In particular, one part of the selling process, which is called the closing strategy. Okay, he does not have a closing strategy. He simply present and expect the prospect to take action, which they don't. And that's why he has not been closing. So we introduced to him the 5 steps we have in the closing strategy. Okay, it is basically recommendation, and then answering objection, telling a motivational story, giving a power phrase, and then closing. Okay, so these 5 steps, closing strategy is part of the selling process. The selling process has got 10 steps, and selling process is one of the P that we are talking about as far as selling mastery is concerned. The other 2 Ps are sales principles as well as sales psychology. Sales psychology is powerful. Sales psychology sets you apart in the industry. Sales psychology allows you to ask the expert questions. When people deal with someone with sales psychology mastery, they know that they are dealing with an expert, and they will normally listen to you and follow your lead, because if you know what questions to ask, all right, you know the answers that they are going to give you. And that's sales psychology. Okay, let's move on. The next area that we are talking about is vocational mastery. So for insurance financial advisors, we are talking about financial planning, your financial planning system, your financial planning concept, your life insurance, your investment products. Okay. What I want to recommend to you over here is that it is not just about passing the exams that you need to, or to be credentialized for the different accreditations that you can, whether is it CP, what do you call that, CHFC, CLU, and all the rest that is available to you. All right, it is not a bad thing to have those knowledge, those credentials. All right, but I remember a conversation I had with Tony Gordon many years ago, and when I asked him this question, I'm going to just share this story very quickly just to give you an idea. I asked him about how he feel. Tony Gordon is a top of the table producer, MDRT president, and super sales achiever. Okay, so he used to come to Singapore during that period of time, and there was one time I approached him and seek his opinion about what many of us are doing during that time, all trying to get many credentials behind our name. So his short answer to me and to the rest of the audience, a few thousand people during the audience, when I asked him during the Q&A, he asked me to ask him during the Q&A. All right, when I approached him personally, he asked me to ask him during the public Q&A session. And his answer to me when I asked him, how do you feel about the credentialization that's going on in the industry right now? Everybody is frantically going after them, with a zeal, that we have never seen before. His first answer to us, he said this. He said, it is for people who cannot sell. Okay, don't be offended. If in case you have a lot of credentials, don't be offended. But okay, he went on to answer a lot of other things, but I just want to focus on this. I'm very sure because during that time there was one lady who stand up in the front and asked him a very technical question, which was super technical, but he was able to address her question and answer beautifully. After all, he's the super salesperson. But I think what he's talking about is not that he's looking down on those who have credentials. All right. What he's talking about is, I believe, what I'm thinking about during that time. Because, you see, the motivation that I have putting that question to him is that in my heart and in my mind, I'm seeing people doing the opposite of the things that they need to do in order to get super production, in order to be successful. Do you know what I'm trying to say? When I see people, I don't see them working on the things that they need to work on in order to be outstanding in their business, in the career that they have chosen. I see them doing things that actually does not matter very much, like passing an exam. Okay, as I said again, it is not a bad thing to pass exam. It is not a bad thing to get a degree. Right? It is definitely not bad. But you must ask yourself, how much does that contribute to your ability to close the next sale, or the big sale, or deal with the high net worth, or to close more consistently, predictably? Okay? So this is just my little experience with Tony Gordon. And vocational mastery here, what I want to recommend to you is that you must master financial planning concepts. You must master sales ideas. You must know the different kind of models available to you. You must master them so that you can use them in your presentation, during your interviews. Okay? Otherwise, all the exams you pass is really of no use to you because you cannot apply them intelligently. Okay. Finally, all right. Okay, in the earlier sessions, I have no opportunities to talk about all this because of the time factor. Today, I'm dragging a little bit longer, but at least I get to cover all this. Finally, I call this mastery life mastery, which is an important mastery. Every mastery here listed is important. Remember, the purpose of every mastery is to help you to see the blind spots that you have, that you are currently not practicing, so that when you see it, you can make the change. All right, that is the value of seeing your blind spot. Only by making the change in the area that you need and knowing what you need to do and changing it, actually executing it, then you will see immediate results in the outcome. Okay? Life mastery here simply refers to the empowering beliefs that you need to have. Okay, in this case, for insurance financial advisors, the empowering beliefs that you need to have as a financial advisor, as an insurance person. That is what I'm referring to. All right, and it is beliefs that are related to life issues. So, for instance, if you are an insurance person, you must have a certain way to see life and death. All right, you must have certain strong belief about those things. How about savings? How about investments? How about financial planning? How about peace of mind? How about dignity? Okay, every one of these things that I mentioned, you must have an empowering belief about them. And in our program, we listed down 26 empowering beliefs for the insurance financial advisor. Why these beliefs? Because selling is simply the transferring of emotions. Top producers imbue within them the beliefs that they have, the beliefs that they need. And through their interaction with their prospects and their clients, they transfer their emotions to them, be it the questions that they ask or the things that they say to them. All right? So when that happens, your prospect will move according to what you want because they are moved by your emotions, right? And that's the reason why life mastery is so important, so critical. Okay. All right. So this is the overview I can give you as far as mastery is concerned. Remember, on top of mastery, we are still talking about what? We are still talking about motivation. We are still talking about mindset. And of course, your activities, which is the massive action. Okay, for any of you who feels that you need assistance, you need help, and you would like to access some of these mentoring resources that I have, I'm availing them to you. So one of the things that you can do, as I mentioned earlier, is to go to learnaloud.com, where you get your free special report. Okay? Uncovering yourself, the secret to your breakthrough. So this is one of the things that you can access. The other thing that I like to avail to you is a sales Bible that we have, learnaloud.com sales Bible, all right? The name sales Bible is given by actually some of our mentees because they actually, after they read that 80 over pages of material, they actually feel that it is a sales Bible for them. Okay, I hope you can see this. It's very low. Okay, but basically it's learnaloud.com sales Bible. All right, so within that if you go to the web page, which I can probably share with you right now, Okay, let me go to sharing screen again. Okay, I hope you can see the screen again. Sales Bible, learnaloud.com Sales Bible. Okay, you will come to this page. All right, this I'll write out for you to understand what it is about. But basically, it's talking about the 80 over pages of insights, which I took 8 years. I took about 2 years to accumulate everything that I've been telling my mentees. So how to sell so much more and have a great life. This is the way I title it. You can purchase it over here. And for those of you who are actually interested to know more about our mentoring program and you would like to find out more, you can click this button over here, all right? And it will bring you to a qualification form. This is just a few questions that will help me to know your situation better. So what you need to do, just read a little bit about what it is about and then begin to answer the questions that's available in the form, all right? So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for coming. Thank you, David. Thanks for coming. And I hope you pick up something from here, all right? Remember, the bottom line is this. You must see your blind spots in order to know how to change effectively and change intelligently. But remember, the most important thing as a starting point is that you must be motivated to reach a different outcome. Whether is it MDRT or whether is it to double your income or to achieve what you want. You must have clarity. Only when you have that clarity, knowing what is it that you want, knowing where you are right now, and realizing, all right, having the courage to realize that you have blind spots that you must uncover, will you begin to do something differently? Otherwise, you will still continue to do the same thing. And we are not talking about working hard. Working hard is good, but we are not talking about, improving 10%, 20% and all that. We are talking about achieving a quantum leap. All right. So thank you for joining us. And I hope we have taken quite a bit of time today, but I hope it's useful. So if you are catching this on the recording, feel free to connect with me. If you want to know about the mentoring program, just click on that learnaloud.com Sales Bible. There's a link there where you can access the form, the qualification form. Then you fill out the form and you submit it. I will get access to it. I will be in touch with you. If you are not ready for the mentoring program, you can still access to the Sales Bible at the web page, and you can download it yourself once you buy it. All right. But the free report is at learnaloud.com. Feel free to access it. Read it intelligently. Read it slowly with understanding. Begin to understand the reason why you are stuck and how you can get out of it. All right. So thank you so much. This is our last session for today. So for those who have joined us in all the earlier sessions, thank you to you. I look forward to catch you in some events or on social media and everywhere else. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.